Hey everyone, we are close to Lownsdale Square. It's coming up. I wanted to be here at 5, but I didn't realize I didn't leave the last one till 4:30, and I had to go home and get power banks and put some warmer clothes on. So here we are. Flip you around, we're just coming up to Lownsdale Square. I think this is the last one I'm gonna have to pay parking for at least, so that's nice.
My name is Tyler. I was a Navy foreman for 5 years. About Face is an organization of post 9/11 veterans that oppose permanent war and the use of military weapons and tactics in American cities. The purpose of the system is what it does. Why is it in America, when you look around, that you see cruelty perpetrated on the American people by the government? We see this in the form of ICE killing and jailing both American people and those who came here for a better life. We see this in the strangling of social programs that citizens depend on. We see this in the systems of power that allow American citizens to be saddled with medical debt, educational debt, toxic loans, and bad mortgages. We see this in the homeless population in our city, in every city in America, when we know there's enough adequate housing for every person in America. Does this seem cruel? That is because cruelty is the point. And the cruelty of the American government does not halt at its borders. Corrosive sanctions starve the populations of Iran and Venezuela. Political figures are kidnapped after blockades and bombing campaigns to the detriment of innocent people. Deranged threats are made towards longtime allies in the case of Greenland, revealing American politicians' view on the sovereignty of even purported allies. The American government still supports a clear genocide in Palestine. This is because cruelty is the point. Politicians and billionaires know that we outnumber them. The only tactic in their playbook is to make those of us in the working class, you and I, afraid. We will not let them! None of these are new tactics. In fact, I know many of you can think of examples of American imperialism and cruelty that has spanned several administrations, where the American people were promised things would be different. So I ask, why is it more of the same? Why more cruelty? It has been a year, and the Trump regime has been in power. It is clear now, more than ever, that the political class in America thinks of us only as things to be owned and things to be made to comply. What atrocities will be next in the next 3 years? More ICE murders and attempts to humiliate American people. It is clear that the only solution then to end the brutality on the working class and the suffering caused abroad is to wrest control from the Republicans and Democrats who fail to represent the American people. We cannot wait until the midterms. We must demand those who are not already expelling ICE from their cities, from their states, to step aside and make way for those who will demand it. That's right. Let the lazy and unwilling political class step aside for individuals who will represent the American people. For those of us in the U.S. military, we must also do our part. We must not comply with the wishes of a regime that is turning guns on the American people. This is not about decorum and decency. This is existential. Do not comply with an unlawful order. Drag your heels. Perform non-compliance at every level. A system is what it does. Cruelty is the product, and cruelty is the purpose. Why then should we comply with it? We must demand something better. Something representative of all of us. I urge you, look to the organizations here, PSL and DSA, for involvement. If you're a veteran, look to joining About Face. Together, we can finally make an America that represents its people. Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Thank you.
When immigrant rights are under attack,
What do we do?
stand up, fight back! What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Next up, we've got Anthony, an organizer with Jewish Voices for Peace. Please come up.
That's all right, Patroclus. Thank you for being here.
My name is Anthony, and I'm a volunteer with Portland Jewish Voice for Peace, an organization of anti-Zionist Jews and allies working in solidarity with the movement for Palestinian liberation. I am also a descendant of immigrants from Italy and Eastern Europe who came here to escape poverty and pogroms. When my ancestors arrived in this country, they faced hatred and discrimination because they were foreigners. They thrived in spite of that. Today, most Italian and Ashkenazi Jewish immigrants are predominantly seen as white. A group of people who were once excluded due to xenophobia and racism can later be used to oppress others by being accepted into whiteness. This is crucial to understanding that who is in the privileged in-group and who is in the oppressed out-group is socially constructed by the ruling class to serve particular purposes at particular times. My ancestors' experience of exclusion, followed by acceptance, informs my understanding that fear-mongering about immigrants is not based in reality. It is a cynical distraction designed to divide the working class so we won't turn our justified anger on the ruling class profiting off of this corrupt system. Our immigrant neighbors are valued members of our community, and we are here to fight alongside them for their right to peace and dignity and for all of our collective liberation. As we do so, it is imperative that we recognize the connection between the struggle for immigrant rights here and the struggle against American imperialism around the globe, including in Palestine. As we speak, despite a theoretical ceasefire, Israel continues to carry out bombings in Gaza and attacks in the West Bank. At least 463 Palestinians have been reported killed since the so-called ceasefire took effect in October.
Hey, Anam.
While just this past Friday, Israeli soldiers shot and killed Mohammed Nassan, a 14-year-old child, in an unprovoked attack on his West Bank village. All of this is enabled by American imperialism. And as this violence continues to escalate, we must keep our eyes on Palestine. We must also be aware of the ways in which imperialism and violence abroad are coming home. ICE and the Israeli military and its contractors are working together to keep their eyes on immigrant communities. Israeli military contractors such as Elbit Systems, digital forensics company Celebrite, and spyware company Paragon Solutions hold contracts with ICE and Customs and Border Patrol that enable them to further militarize the border and target immigrant communities for surveillance. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security shares biometric data with Israel's Ministry of Public Security, and reports indicate that training exchanges between Israeli and U.S. law enforcement include Israeli participation in training ICE agents. DHS and ICE even have an office in Tel Aviv. The tactics and technologies that Israel uses to oppress Palestinians are coming over here and being used against immigrants in our communities. One, the first thing to do about it is connect with any of the great organizations that are speaking here today. I also strongly recommend plugging in with local Palestinian-led organizations such as Al-Auda and Zaytuna. Attend a Migrant Watch training. Unionize your workplace. As for Jewish Voice for Peace, we are working as part of a coalition to pressure the Portland City Council to divest our city from entities with connections to Israeli war crimes, ISIS campaign of kidnapping and terror, environmental devastation, and labor rights violations. We continue to work to end U.S. military, economic, and cultural support for the apartheid settler colonial state of Israel. Come talk to me afterwards if you want to know how you can join our work. Say it loud and say it clear. Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
ICE will be abolished.
ICE will be abolished.
And we will end the regime of U.S. imperialism that terrorizes the world. Thank you all for being here. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Thank you.
All right, next we're going to hear from Anside from Socialist Alternative, making an announcement about a rally on Friday.
Hi everyone, my name is Anside. I'm an organizer with Socialist Alternative in Portland. And yeah, we have a rally on Friday in solidarity with the one-day strike being called in Minneapolis. I want to put that in context. I think what we're seeing in Minneapolis is the beginning of something really important. And that's the labor movement stepping up in the fight against Trump and ICE. We've seen unionized postal workers in the NALC in Minneapolis hold a rally that successfully kicked ICE off postal property. Greg Namacher, the president of SEIU Local 26, he said, the army Trump is building right now in Minneapolis to deport people is the same army that Trump will use to crush the unions tomorrow. What's happening in Minneapolis isn't just about Minneapolis. I think we all know that. It's about pushing all opposition to Trump. It's about beating people down into demoralization and defeat. It's about preparing our society for war. Are we going to let that happen? No! Over 90 unions and other organizations are calling for this strike on Friday. No work, no school, no shopping. That's exactly the kind of escalation this movement needs. Massive, coordinated class struggle organizing. To shut down business as usual, stop the profits of the major companies that call Minneapolis home, like Target, US Bank, Honeywell, and Medtronic. And I think that's exactly the kind of action we need to be organizing towards here in Portland and across the whole country in the weeks and months to come. Democrats, as others have said, have shown that they're totally inept, totally unwilling to follow through on all of their tough talk. No matter how many times Jacob Fry, the Minneapolis mayor, drops an F-bomb on the news, he's never going to support organizing a mass strike action. It has to be us from below. We need to be pushing the labor movement, the immigrants' rights movement, the left, into that kind of mass organizing, conferences where ordinary people can come together like they are right now in Minneapolis to discuss and vote on the way forward and become confident as organizers on their own campuses, in their own workplaces, in their own communities. And to start with, we need to stand with Minneapolis in solidarity this Friday. That's why Socialist Alternative, along with No Kings, Sunrise, and other groups, are holding this rally. It's going to be 6 p.m. on Friday at the Battleship Oregon Memorial. We're there to say Portland stands with Minneapolis, ICE out for good. I want to try one last chant with y'all. Build the movement, spread the strike. We need to abolish ICE. Build the movement, spread the strike. We need to abolish ICE. Build the movement, spread the strike. We need to abolish ICE. Solidarity.
Thank you for that, Anside. Okay, we're going to wrap it up with one final speaker for today, a fellow PSL organizer, Neely. Why don't you come up here, Neely?
We've all seen what's going on in Minneapolis. What's happening is that for every escalation that the Trump administration tries to advance, they also make mistakes. And their mistakes lead to greater resistance by everyday people who see injustice and want to stop it. Restaurant owners in Minneapolis are literally chasing ICE agents out of their neighborhoods. Students all across the Twin Cities are walking out. The community is staging all-night noise protests outside of the hotels where ICE agents are staying. But best of all, the larger community of Minneapolis, from church leaders to teacher unions and beyond, have declared this Friday, January 23rd, a day of action to get ICE out of Minneapolis. They're saying no shopping, no work, no school. They're using the language of collective economic and political power of working people, the people who run society, to shut that city down. They are covering the Twin Cities with posters that say ICE out, while directing everyone to mass mobilization at the same time, on the same day, in the same place. The people are saying, if you don't like ICE, you've got to stand up. People have decided that a mass action of thousands of people all at once can turn the tide. And you may be thinking, we need to be doing that here. And you're right. We do need to be doing that here. All of our unions, our churches, our schools, our neighborhoods need to shut this city down to stop Trump's onslaught. But we can't forget that every single strike in the history of this country started with just one city. They all started with one action and then other actions piled on top of them. We may not be in the same situation as Minneapolis, but we stand in solidarity with them. And we take up the torch to organize ourselves and get ready to be in the same situation as them. Trump's approval rating in basically every major city is at rock bottom. We're talking record lows for any sitting president. If even just 5% of those who disapprove of Trump's policies stop working for one day, stop shopping for one day, he would have no choice but to heed the demands of the working class.
What's up, Spider Mike?
And to see the power of an organized working class. We have a lot to learn from our friends in Minneapolis. We have a responsibility not only to Renee Good, but to every single life that has been taken by ICE. To every family that has been torn apart by deportation and detention. We have a responsibility to make this moment worth it.
beginning. Join any of the groups here today. Get out in the streets. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to your community. We can't fight this. We can push back against this. We can build a new future free from this oppressive fuckery. Let's do it. I've got a couple of announcements about upcoming events here, and then we're going to wrap it up. So, coming up on the 30th of January, so coming up very soon, the PSL is hosting an organizing meeting at the Liberation Center on Sandy, starting at 6:30 p.m. So that information about that will be located on our Instagram, on all our social media. So we'd love to see you out for that. We're also going to be offering a short course on socialist reconstruction, which is going to give us a great idea about socialist alternatives to this capitalist system and what we can actually do when the people take power. It's going to be taking place on Thursday, starting January 8th, so please look out for more information about that. Thank you all so much for being here. Keep the faith, solidarity. We can do this. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Down with ICE terror!
Down with ICE terror!
Trump's lies! Ariana!
Shut it down!
The whole damn system!
Shut it down!
The whole damn system!
Shut it down!
I thought that would be safe. Dude, there was so much right in front of me. And right as I was driving, like, about to park, I'm like, okay, I didn't fix this. Oh my god. So, yeah.
Sorry I missed the first half of this. This is the third thing I've been out to today, and I thought I'd have more time, but it was getting dark and I needed to get home and put some warmer clothes on. I wasn't sure how long this would run and if I'd have time to get home before going to ICE, but this was shorter than I thought. The protest before was longer than I thought. I know I'm bundled up, and I have more layers in the car now, Paddocles. What time is it right now? Six o'clock. Hey, Spider Mike. As Smartsy, there's a reason why they schedule these things for after 5 o'clock. Good to see you do the PDX. Everyone does what they can when they can. Everyone doesn't have to be there all the time, you know. Do what you can do. Yeah, I hope Lacey the Pink Frog and Chicken Jack are down there tonight. I'd love to hear their stories. I did get confirmation they got released late last night. I didn't get direct confirmation that the other two people that were arrested at the same time as them, and then the two people that were arrested later, I don't know if they got released. I think they did, but I didn't get confirmation of that. I hope everyone's okay and can be back down to ICE soon. If any of you guys didn't watch the live stream last night, it's definitely worth rewatching. It was kind of a crazy night last night. A couple of people got arrested. ICE was massively outnumbered. Yeah, ask Spider Mike. It was nuts down there last night. I hope to see more of that more often. All 6 were released, Spider Mike? Okay. Spider Mike, do you know if they're all okay and uninjured? I'll cut some clips out of last night's stream. It's gonna take me a day or so. I can't download my videos until the next day, and then I've been out all day today, so I think I have stuff going on tomorrow, so it'll be a few days before I get that cut up, but I'll kind of do some highlights and either make a short video or a series of shorts out of them. For people that don't, I did a 4.5 hour stream last night, so it's like, you know, it's a lot to ask people to go back and watch. Hell, it was a lot to shoot. Oh, I hope lawsuits are coming, Spider Mike. I mean, they all got maced really bad, but I have footage at 10 o'clock when they arrested the 2 other people. I have footage of them holding one girl down. You know, she was completely pinned to the ground, and that another guy was still spraying her in the face with mace. That's so messed up. I mean, so much stuff they do down there is messed up, but that shot was just really disturbing. So I wanted to get 2 of those, the rubber bullets that they were shooting down there. I wanted to get 2 of those and make earrings for Bree. And a couple of people said they were going to grab some for me, and it never happened, and they haven't used them in a while, thank God. But it made it hard for me to do my craft project. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here and maybe try and get something to eat and put everything back on the charger for a little bit, and I'll be down at ICE at 7 o'clock like usual. This was a short stream, but I still gonna end up getting 4 in today. I don't know if I'm going to do the full 3 hours tonight. It kind of depends if my batteries start dying and stuff starts dying. If that's the case, I may have to end it short, but I'm gonna wrap this one up when I get back to the car, throw everything on the charger for an hour, maybe get a bite to eat and go back on. So I'll see you guys again at 7 o'clock. Thank you guys for tuning in to all these. I will see you in about an hour. Bye.